Merry meet and welcome to Psalmic Saturday here at Ariel's Corner. This is Ariel Gatoga and we are streaming live on YouTube. Moderating today are the lovely Jason and, oh, did I get that right? Moderating today are the lovely Jason and the lovely Honeypaw. Okay, I did. Thank you so much, moderators. And thank you so very much to everybody for joining us today. I hope you're having a great day. And if you're not, I hope we can turn that around for you here with some psalm magic. This psalm is a little bit on the longish side, and we have a premiere at 11, so we're just going to get going right away. If you would like to join us for the premiere, you can just hang out to the end of the exit music, and we'll get you on over to the watch page. There is a chat thread going, so if you have any questions for me, you can put them right in the chat thread. And if I do have any time at the end of the stream before the premiere, I will take those questions. Otherwise, just bring them on over to our Discord server and or our private Facebook group, and you can find links to both of those on our website, arielscorner.com, arielscorner.com. All right, let's get going. Today we are working Psalm 34. Some traditional magical uses for Psalm 34 include to dissolve arrogance, for influential friends, to reverse evil, and for health of bones. And I'm going to gear this, oh, I don't like all of these clips. We don't want that. Okay. Let's gear this for ourselves today. Or we'll work this as a reversing spell. So if something negative's coming to you, being sent to you, it bounces right off of you and goes back to sender. But if you have any other uses besides that, you can take the seeds that we discover in the psalm and apply them to whatever your use is, whatever your need happens to be. The way we work psalm magic is simple, easy, and effective. We take the psalm in question, and we recite it out loud once all the way through without stopping. And then we go back through that same psalm and we consider each verse one at a time. And we search for hidden or occult meanings that lie behind each verse. And we apply what we find there to whatever the situation is that we've brought to the psalm. And by doing all of this, we are dislodging the magical seeds that exist within each psalm. There's countless amounts of magical seeds. You can never find all of them. But then those seeds get planted in the depths of our mind where they take root, they grow, they blossom forth, and they bear fruit after their kind. And that is exactly what you and I are going to do together right now with Psalm 34. I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be... Okay, start that again, Ariel. I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. My soul shall make her boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear thereof and be glad. O magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. I sought the Lord, and he heard me, and delivered me from all my fears. They looked unto him, and were lightened, and their faces were not ashamed. This poor man cried, and the Lord heard him, and saved him out of all of his troubles. The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him, and delivereth them. O taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man that trusteth in him. O fear the Lord, ye his saints, for there is no want to them that fear him. The young lions do lack and suffer hunger, but they that seek the Lord shall not want any good thing. Come, ye children, hearken unto me. I will teach you the fear of the Lord. What man is he that desireth life, and loveth many days, that he may see good? Keep thy tongue from evil, and thy lips from speaking guile. Depart from evil, and do good. Seek peace, and pursue it. The eyes of the Lord are upon the righteous, and his ears are open unto their cry. The face of the Lord is against them that do evil, to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth. The righteous cry, and the Lord heareth, and delivereth them out of all their troubles. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of all of them. Oh no, that wasn't right. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all. He keepeth all his bones, not one of them is broken. Evil shall slay the wicked, and they that hate the righteous shall be desolate. The Lord redeemeth the soul of his servants, and none of them that trust in him shall be desolate. This is going back and forth between the first person, we as a petitioner speaking in here, and also as the psalmist or the teacher giving us instructions in wisdom. It begins with, I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. So whatever you've come to the psalm about, first thing we have to do is orient ourselves to what we mean when we say the Lord. The Lord is a representation of the tetragrammaton here in the King James Version of the Bible. So anytime you see the Lord, it's talking about Yud-He-Vav-He. But for a magician, it goes deeper than that. Yud-He-Vav-He is also but a symbol. And it's a symbol of the one power, the one force, the one source in all of the universe. And another name of this is I am, or Eheye. They are both the same experience. There are two ways of talking about the same force. And it's important to understand that I am exists in you. The Lord exists within you. It's not an external deity. You are an extension of this force. You are a personification, an individualization of this force. And you are one with this force, and therefore you are one with everyone else that is an individuation of this force. So there is no separation, but we live in a world in which we are under the misassumption, we are under the illusion that we are separate. And because of the power of our minds, we are capable of projecting onto the screen of space either the truth or that which is not true. And it doesn't really make much of a difference to the mechanism in our mind what is true and what isn't. It doesn't, the deep mind doesn't differentiate between the two things. So we are either able to have experiences of truth or we are able to have experiences of illusion. So when we are calling on the Lord, we are asking to be reunited with the truth, and that's what this is all about here. So I will bless the Lord at all times. To bless the Lord at all times is to be one with this force, is to bring it to mind. All times, no matter what you're going through, remind yourself you are one with this force. You are one with the infinite, and it is within you, extending out. I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall be continually in my mouth. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. To praise something is to be enthusiastic about how good it is. So to be enthusiastic about how good it is for you to be alive, because this force is life itself. To have a mind, this force is intelligence itself. To be loving, because this force is love itself. To be real, because this force is truth itself. To be perfect, because this force is law itself. To be at one with this force is to acknowledge its presence. To understand that you as an extension are soul, and your soul is of the same substance as this source, which is spirit. And spirit cannot be destroyed. Spirit cannot be cursed. Spirit cannot be hexed. Spirit cannot be attacked. So understanding this is very important as we move through here. If we want to undo whatever it is that's being done to us, we have to come from the point of view of strength, which is the truth of our being. My soul shall make her boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear thereof and be glad. The soul in the Psalms is not the same idea that we speak of when we talk about the soul being an extension of the infinite. When the Psalms speak of the soul, it's speaking of the deep mind, the unconscious or subconscious habitual mind, which is responsible for what is projected on the screen of space. So it, like I said before, it doesn't differentiate between truth and untruth. That's not its function. It takes its cue from us. So when it says, my soul shall make her boast in the Lord, that means that the deep mind is boasting in the Lord, is understanding that the Lord will project onto the screen of space for us. We want the truth of the infinite to be projected onto the screen of space so that that's our experience rather than whatever these illusions that we've been dealing with. The humble shall hear thereof and be glad. So the humble is you. The humble is you in your right mind. The humble and the righteous and the meek, they are all the same thing. You in your right mind are humble. You aren't arrogant. What's arrogant is the ego mind projecting pain onto the screen of space. That's arrogant. It's arrogant to think that we can undo the perfection of the infinite. It's arrogant to think that we can make the perfection that we were created to be something imperfect. That's arrogant. So understanding when it says, my soul shall make her boast in the Lord, the humble shall hear thereof and be glad. When we come into alignment with the infinite, it undoes for us all of our illusions. And we understand that, and we are very glad because we understand that it was arrogant for us to be in a situation where we could be attacked or hurt or harmed in any way. My soul, Oh, magnify the Lord with me. Let us exalt his name together. Now, it's talking to you as if we were going to be doing this in a congregation. And the congregation in Psalm Magic exists in your mind. All of your thoughts coming together as one cohesive unit. That's power. That is the greatest power that we could possibly conceive of, is our thoughts having a unified purpose. And that's what we're asking our thoughts to do now. When we say, oh, magnify the Lord with me and let us exalt his name together. The name of something in the Psalms is the qualities of that thing or the nature of that thing. So the different names of the Lord are the different qualities of the infinite. Like we discussed earlier, spirit, soul, intelligence, life, truth, love, law, presence. The presence of the Lord itself is a quality. So when it says, I just lost it. Hello. Oh, when it says, "Oh, magnify the Lord with me and let's exalt his name together," that means that we as a mind are instructing all of our thoughts to focus on the qualities of the infinite. And you can just take one quality and think of it. I'm thinking about infinite life. Oh, okay, I feel my heart beating right now. I feel my lungs breathing. I feel the blood pulsing through my veins. I am one with the force of life itself, etc. If you were thinking about the quality of spirit, well, spirit is that which is eternal, can't be destroyed, is immortal. And so that's who I am. I have a body that's animated by the spirit, but I am more than my body. My body's like a suit of clothes that I wear. And me as a spirit, I can't be harmed, and I'm eternal. Those kinds of thoughts. That's how you magnify the Lord and exalt his name. I sought the Lord, and he heard me and delivered me from all my fears. And this is important to recognize that it doesn't happen to us. It must come from us. People hear about these ideas and they say, well, why doesn't the infinite just fix it? Why do we have to go through all of this? Well, we don't have to go through all of this, but we have been given free will. We can use our minds any way we want to. We can think of anything we want to think. That's our freedom. And the infinite will never go against its own law that we get freedom. Nor will the infinite go against its own law of cause and effect. So what we are using our minds for, we will have the effects of. And there's nothing that we can do about that other than change our minds. So if we don't understand how to change our minds, we have to ask for help. And in asking for help, we receive that help. But that asking must come from us. I sought the Lord, and he heard me. Of course, the Lord hears you. The infinite always hears you and is waiting for you. And delivered me from all my fears. It's not the will of the infinite that you be afraid, nor is it the will of the infinite that you be attacked, that you be under duress of any kind. That is not the will of the infinite. So by asking for help and being willing to have the infinite undo all of the thinking that is responsible for these experiences, we are freed from them. And the infinite is very eager for that to occur. They looked unto him and were lightened, and their faces were not ashamed. And that's always so surprising at first, that we understand that the the Lord doesn't hold anything against us. The infinite doesn't hold anything against us. We're worried that because our egos thought these thoughts or said these things or did these things that we're somehow going to be punished, and we're afraid to go to the infinite because, well, what happens if I'm punished for all of my sins? And we are surprised and delighted to understand that the infinite doesn't operate like that. That's all ego. Only the ego keeps track of mistakes and calls for punishment. The infinite is just pure life, pure love, pure correction, pure healing, and sees us as we were created and doesn't keep track of any of these illusions because it's not interested in our illusions. It's only interested in our truth. And the truth about us is we are perfect. We are righteous. And that's the way the infinite sees us. And that's how the infinite will always judge us. This poor man cried, and the Lord heard him and saved him out of all his troubles. So the poor man in you can be poor in many ways. In this particular instance, we are demonstrating the psalm as if we are having some sort of attack that needs to be, that we need to be protected from and that can bounce off of us. But whatever the poverty looks like, whether it's that or anything else, it's telling you that if you call out when it says cried, if you make the first move, the infinite always hears you and saves you out of your troubles. If you're willing to change your mind. You can't say, oh, I want you to save me from all my troubles, but all of the thoughts that are responsible for creating those troubles, I'm keeping those. That you can't do that. That's like saying, I want to make a cake, but it must be made with fresh soil from my garden, but it must taste good. It's not going to taste good if you use soil instead of flour. You can't make up those rules. And so the infinite can't go against your free will And it also can't go against cause and effect. So if you want to be saved from troubles, you have to allow the infinite right of way to undo and reorient your thinking that got you in trouble in the first place, and then not go back to those old habits of thinking. The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him, and delivereth them. To fear the Lord is to be aware of the presence of the infinite. It's an ecstatic experience. It's the only kind of fear that we can experience that doesn't have pain attached to it. So all fear is something that comes from the ego, but the fear of the Lord is the only version of that type of ecstasy which is pain-free and which is actually a good thing. So it's not technically fear, although it can seem similar. It's ecstasy of the experience and the awareness of the presence of the infinite. And it's stated that those who have fear of the Lord have nothing to fear in the world, and that's why. Because when you have the what they're calling the fear of the Lord, the awareness of the presence of God, the awareness of the presence of the infinite, and the ecstasy that creates, you are enlivened, you are lit up, you are impervious to all harm, no matter what it may. No matter what form it may present itself to you, it can't touch you when you're in that state. So the idea is to always be in that state. So that's the angel of the Lord encampeth round about them. That's a poetic image of how safe you are when you're experiencing the presence of the infinite. O taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man that trusteth in him. The Lord, the infinite, is good. It's goodness. In other words, whatever is good in your life, that is the Lord. That is the infinite. So when it says, O taste and see that the Lord is good, tasting and seeing, using all of your senses, not just those two, but using all of your senses to experience that which is good. Blessed is the man that trusteth in him, to have faith in the goodness that is your source, and the goodness that is the reality also of you is the secret. Having faith in that goodness. And you can just go through your mind and ask yourself, what is good in my life? What is working? What do I really love? What is good? Maybe you have family, maybe you have relationships, maybe you had something to eat today, maybe you have a shelter, maybe you had a good night's sleep. Something happened, something that you can point to is good in your life. It's not all bad, no matter how bad you think it is. There is good. And when you start to orient your thinking toward what is good, you start finding more that is good. And not only do you find more that is good, more good starts to manifest, and that which is not good starts to dissolve and disappear. So, O taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man that trusteth in him. That's how you trust in the good. It's not blind faith, but by investigating, asking yourself, what's good? What's good? Let me look for the good. O fear the Lord, ye his saints, for there is no want to them that fear him. Depending on how the word saint is used in the psalm, it can have several meanings. In this case, it's just talking about you as a soul, who you are. You are a saint. You are perfect just the way you were created. The infinite loves you exactly as you were created, does not have anything but love for you, and is very pleased in you. So, O fear the Lord, ye his saints. When you experience the presence of the infinite, then you get that. You understand that. You experience that. It's the infinite communicates to you how fabulous you are. So the fear of the Lord is a good thing to, it's a good tool to use in order to find out the truth about who you are. So when you experience the presence of the infinite, you understand that you are the same fabric of that presence. Like we say, a dog doesn't give birth to a crow, a dog gives birth to puppies. So the infinite, the divine, creates only divine beings, and you are a divine being. So that's why you're a saint. Oh, fear the Lord, ye his saints. And you understand your divinity when you are experiencing the presence of the infinite. For there is no want to them that fear him. As an added benefit, not only does it feel good to know who you are and that you and the infinite are one, but also that opens the floodgates for all good to appear in your life. So there's nothing that you'll ever want for. There's no poverty, there's no want, there's no attack, there's no any of that. Any possible thing that you could be in need of is provided by this force. The young lions do lack and suffer hunger, but they that seek the Lord shall not want any good thing. Here, when it's talking about the young lions, it's talking about the ego mind. The ego mind is being likened unto a lion in that it's a predator. It's always seeking to attack because it's afraid. It's a thought system. It's again, the ego is nothing to be afraid of, and it's also nothing to kill or any of that. You want to recognize its unreality. That's the only thing you want. But it's a habit of thinking in terms of fear. And when you're afraid, you tend to be defensive and you tend to attack in order to protect yourself. That's the young lion. So when you're coming from the ego's perspective, when you are in the ego frame of mind in that regard, you will suffer hunger. You will want. You will have problems. You will be attacked. All of those things, because that's part of its purview. But they that seek the Lord shall not want any good thing. So it's simply changing the thought system. The thought system of the ego creates the world of the ego. That's all attack, that's all scarcity, it's all pain, it's all dog eat dog, or in this case, lion eat lion. And then you have the other thought system, which is the thought system of spirit. And there is no wanting. There is only love. There is only gentleness. There is only perfection. But the vision of one world always costs you the vision of the other world. You can't do both. You can't go east and west at the same time. So if you're experiencing lack and want and all of those things, it's not that you created this reality for yourself and you should feel bad. It's that you're being called to move to the other thought system, the thought system based on spirit rather than the thought system based on separation. And that's how they that seek the Lord shall not want any good thing, because it will disappear. The want will disappear because you are moving into an entirely different world. Come, ye children, hearken unto me. I will teach you the fear of the Lord. Now, this is the teacher speaking to you as if you are a young child. And it's important to allow yourself to feel like a young child, the innocence of that. Oh, okay, I get to hearken unto the teacher in order to understand the fear of the Lord, understand the presence of the infinite. When I can experience that ecstatic presence of the infinite, everything changes. But many of us will hear this and not bother to sit down and experience that. You feel for the experience. You just sit and close your eyes and feel for the presence, the divine presence. You feel for it. And you start to get little shivers. You start to get little goosebumps even. And then you feel for more of it and more of it and more of it. And you recognize, wow, this has been within me the whole time. And I haven't even noticed it. What man is he that desireth life and loveth many days, that he may see good? So it's asking you rhetorically, when you're, as it's saying, what man is he that desireth life? If you desire life, you're desiring the infinite. You're desiring God. You are desiring the presence of the infinite. You're fearing God. And when you do that, it's telling you that orientation toward life, toward the infinite, brings you the life that you're seeking. And that includes everything that you need or want. The things that you truly desire of your heart are there for you to achieve, are there for you to receive and to experience and to manifest. The lusts of your ego are there to keep you on a treadmill of want, lack, delay. So it's important for us to take time every day and feel this ecstasy, feel this presence, so that we are sitting in the so that we take time to sit within the power itself, and that power undoes all of those ego lusts for us. We're no longer bound to the world like we were before. That's how powerful it is. Keep thy tongue from evil and thy lips from speaking guile. Pretty self-explanatory. Watch what you're saying. Listen to the words that you say. And when you say something that you don't want, just take it out of the law. You can even do it silently. When you're saying something, even in jest, that is not what you want, or even if you're criticizing another person, remember, when you're criticizing another person, frequently, that is an indicator of how you're feeling about yourself. It's another way of separating you from your good. So whenever you misuse your speech, just tell yourself, I take that out of the law of cause and effect. Take it out, or I take it out of the law. Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. It's very easy. It's very easy. People think it's really complicated, but all I want is peace. If I'm seeking peace and that's my goal, then everything works out perfectly for me. But if I'm seeking evil, and all evil means here is that which keeps me stuck, that which keeps me mired in tension, mired in the ego, mired in attack, mired in defense, mired in problems, mired in lack, mired in limitation. And the ego uses your addictions to being right to keep you stuck in that prison. And just by noticing that and spending time every day experiencing the presence of the infinite, or what it calls the fear of God in here, experiencing that instead dissolves those things. So what you want to do is pursue that and turn your back to your old ways. Listen to how you speak, listen to what you do, listen to what things you are attracted to. And it's okay to question those things. Just because you're attracted to something doesn't mean that you have to own it. If you're attracted to being mean to somebody, you don't have to own that. You can say, oh, I don't like that. I'm rejecting that. Departing from evil, and I'm going to do good instead. I'm going to seek peace. I'm going to pursue that. The eyes of the Lord are upon the righteous, and the ears are open unto their cry. So the eyes of the Lord are the attention of the infinite. The attention of the infinite is always upon you, but you do not understand that while you're not in your right mind. That's what righteousness is your right mind. So the infinite always is being attentive to you, because the infinite knows you as you are, as you were created, and that's righteous. If you're not seeing yourself as righteous, then you're living in a fantasy. You're living in something self-created, and you're having a very bad time, even on a good day. And it's as if the infinite's eyes are not on you. And the reason why the reason why we experience it that way is because the infinite does not see your illusions. The infinite only sees your truth. And so it's up to us to ask to be delivered from our illusions and back into our truth. And we recognize that we were never left alone to begin with. And his ears are open unto their cry. That's what we mean by crying, is asking for help. The face of the Lord is against them that do evil, to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth. So whatever's being pointed at you in this that we're wanting to that we're wanting to bounce off of us, that's a given. That's a given. That's just the infinite's will for us. But the infinite can't undo our free will. So we have to do our part and allow ourselves to undo the evil in our own minds. And we all have some. It's nothing to feel bad about. We're all involved in really negative thinking. That's all evil means. We're all involved in real negative, limited, judgmental thinking. And just being willing to see it differently, being willing to rethink things. That's what repent means. I don't want to see it this way anymore. I want to see it a different way. So that's doing our part. The reversal of the curse and all of that, that's the infinite's already got that. You don't have to worry about it. But you don't want to give that so-called curse or whatever you feel is coming at you a home. And you give it a home by engaging in what it's calling evil, meaning negative thinking, limited thinking, judgmental thinking, all of those things, tense thoughts. The righteous cry, and the Lord heareth, and delivereth them out of all of their troubles. You could just memorize this. This could be a wonderful just affirmation throughout the day while you're working this spell. The righteous cry, and the Lord heareth, and delivereth them out of all of their troubles. Not some, all. It's very clear. You are righteous. You're asking for help. The help is coming. All you have to do is not dig your heels into the problems, not dig your heels into needing to be right about whatever it is that you want to be delivered from. Just to have this attitude of, I don't know. I don't know what any of it means. I just know that I want to be delivered. I know I want to be happy. That's all I know. And the infinite is very glad to give that to you. And the more open your mind is, and the more willing you are to unlearn things that you thought you knew, the faster that can happen for you. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as being of a contrite spirit. A broken heart means an open heart in this sense. So the infinite is always, when it says the infinite is nigh, it means that you experience the infinite's presence when you're open to it, when you have an open heart. If your heart is closed and you're just thinking about how you hate them and how bad they are and they deserve what's coming to them, and that's your thinking, the infinite has no thoroughfare to get to you, because you're definitely doubling down on your ego, your self-righteousness, and you have all the reasons why they're bad, they're bad, they're bad, they're bad. You can't reverse that kind of a curse. What that does is it puts you in a war with whatever that energy is. And who knows how long that'll go for. But if you are willing to say, I don't know what to do with this, I'm willing to open my heart, open my mind, and let the infinite take care of it for me, all of the problems get solved immediately. That's being of a broken heart and a contrite spirit. Contrite meaning, I know I'm not perfect either. And since I'm not perfect as an ego, my soul is perfect, but as an ego, I make all kinds of mistakes. I understand this. So I'm not here to judge other people's mistakes, even though they seem a lot worse than mine. That's not for me to judge. What's for me to judge is whether or not my heart is open. He keepeth all his bones, not one of them is broken. You do not have to worry about anything when you and the infinite are consciously working together. And the way you consciously work with the infinite is by doing what it's been talking about, and that's experiencing the presence of the infinite. Experiencing that presence, just closing your eyes and having sessions where you feel for that. You feel for that presence. That's the fear of the Lord. Evil shall slay the wicked, and they that hate the righteous shall be desolate. In other words, you don't have to fight against evil. It takes care of itself. It collapses under its own weight. It takes care of itself. In fact, it takes care of itself so quickly if you remove yourself from all of it and you just have that open heart, that experience of the presence of the infinite, and you let the infinite do it for you. You let the infinite handle it for you. The structures of the ego are so fragile. And so if we don't give them life, if we don't prop them up, if we withdraw our life force from them, they all collapse, all of them, internally and definitely externally. The Lord redeemeth the soul of his servants, and none of them that trust in him shall be desolate. So to trust in the infinite is to take time to be with the infinite, to feel for the infinite, to feel the presence of the infinite. And then you are redeemed. To be redeemed is to be distilled. It's wonderful. It's like where you get an internal soul massage from while you're experiencing this presence. And everything that is unlike perfection is just gently discarded. It's not a big, horrible, awful thing when you're redeemed. It's fabulous. It's like I said, it's like getting a massage or something. And you understand that all of the illusions that you had about yourself, that the world taught you about yourself, that you taught yourself about yourself, that you're a perfect extension of the infinite's love, anything that doesn't look like that falls away, is gone, is dried up and floats away back to the native nothingness from whence it came. And then what happens, like we said at the beginning, is then your deep mind is filled with truth and will project truth onto the screen of space so that your physical world starts to reflect that. And it can seem as though, even though everybody else is living in this scary world, that you're living a charmed life. And you know what? You deserve that. And the more you live that charmed life on a very subliminal level, you are going to inspire other people to live a charmed life as well. And pretty soon, the charmed life becomes the norm. And that's when things really start to take off here on earth. And that's a beautiful thing. So you just keep coming back to this psalm every day until you start to get a sense in an inner certainty that everything is working out. You're not worried about it anymore. You just really get this kind of click, is what I call it. It just kind of, everything shifts and falls into place internally. And even if I'm not seeing anything on the external yet, if I get that sense of peace and certainty about the situation, I know for sure that my spell has been cast and I don't need to even think about the matter anymore. I can move on to something else and let it manifest in a perfect way. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. Until next time, blessed be. Okay, we do not have time for questions. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream so we're not late on our premiere. But the questions that I got, I will be happy to answer them on Discord and or the private Facebook group, or maybe even next week if you come next week and it's not as, I don't know which psalm we're doing, I'll take time to answer them then. Okay, thank you so much to the amazing moderators. Today we had Honey Paw and Jason, and we'll see you very soon. Until next time, blessed be.